Number 10. Glamis Castle. Location: Angus, Scotland. The Grey Lady. This is the most famous ghost of Glamis Castle, believed to be the spirit of Lady Janet Douglas, who was accused of witchcraft and burned at the stake in 1537. She is often seen in the chapel, where her seat remains reserved. Another well-known ghost is that of Alexander Lindsay, 4th Earl of Crawford, known as Earl Beardeye. According to legend, he was a cruel and ruthless man who lost his soul in a card game with the devil. His ghost is said to wander the castle, sometimes heard playing cards or shouting. The monster of Glamis involves a deformed child, born into the Beausleon family, who was kept hidden away in a secret room in the castle. The monster of Glamis is said to have lived a long life in seclusion, and some believe his spirit still haunts the castle. Number 9. Berry Pomeroy Castle. Location: Devon, England. The White Lady. This ghost is said to be the spirit of Lady Margaret Pomeroy, who was imprisoned in the dungeons by her jealous sister, Eleanor. Margaret eventually died of starvation, and her ghost is often seen in the dungeons and around the castle grounds. Another well-known apparition is the Blue Lady, who is believed to be the spirit of a young woman who was murdered by her father. She is often seen beckoning to visitors from the castle ruins, and those who follow her are said to meet with tragedy. Number 8. Dover Castle. Location: Kent, England. The Headless Drummer Boy. One of Dover Castle's most famous ghosts is that of a headless drummer boy. According to legend, he was murdered while carrying a valuable sum of money, and his ghost is often seen or heard drumming in the dead of night. The Lady in Red. This spirit is believed to be the ghost of a woman who died tragically in a fall from the battlements. She is often seen wandering the castle grounds, dressed in a flowing red gown. A ghostly cavalier is also said to haunt Dover Castle. Dressed in full armor, this spectral figure is often seen standing guard or walking the battlements. Number 7. Ballygally Castle. County Antrim, Northern Ireland. The most famous ghost of Ballygally Castle is Lady Isabel Shaw, who is said to have been locked in a tower room by her husband, Lord James Shaw, after failing to produce a male heir. Desperate, she tried to escape by climbing out of the window, but fell to her death. Her spirit is often seen or felt in the castle, particularly in the ghost room. Another ghost that is said to haunt Ballygally Castle is Madame Nixon, a former resident of the castle. Her ghost is often heard walking through the corridors, dressed in old-fashioned clothes. Number 6. Bolsover Castle, Derbyshire, England. Bolsover Castle is reputedly haunted by the ghost of a cavalier, possibly a soldier from the English Civil War. His apparition has been seen by many visitors, often on the terrace or in the castle's rooms. Another frequent apparition is that of a woman in black who is seen wandering the grounds and rooms of the castle. She is often described as having a sorrowful expression and is sometimes heard weeping. Visitors have also reported hearing the disembodied voices of children playing or crying in various parts of the castle, even when no children are present. Number 5. Leap Castle, County Offaly, Ireland. Leap Castle's most infamous ghost is the Red Lady, a tall, spectral woman dressed in a red gown and carrying a dagger. She is believed to be the spirit of a woman who was held captive and died in the castle. Perhaps the most terrifying entity in Leap Castle is the Elemental, a malevolent spirit or force that is said to reside in the castle. It is described as a dark, shadowy figure with an overpowering stench of rotting flesh and sulfur. The castle was the site of numerous family disputes, including the murder of a priest by his brother, one of the O'Carrolls, during a mass. The priest's ghost is often seen in the chapel, now known as the Bloody Chapel. Number 4. Mains Castle, Dundee, Scotland. One of the most frequently reported apparitions at Mainz Castle is the Grey Lady. This spectral figure is often seen wandering the castle grounds and inside the castle itself. The identity of the Grey Lady is not certain, but she is believed to be the spirit of a woman who lived in or around the castle many years ago. Possibly a member of the Graham family, who owned the castle in the 16th century. Witnesses describe her as a sad, solemn figure, dressed in grey, who moves silently through the halls and corridors. She is often seen in the early morning or late at night, and her presence is usually accompanied by a sudden drop in temperature. Some reports from Mainz Castle also mention sightings of a White Lady, a common ghostly figure in Scottish folklore. The White Lady is often seen near the castle's entrance or in the surrounding woods. She is described as a glowing, ethereal figure dressed in a long white gown. Like the Grey Lady, her identity is unclear, but she is believed to be the spirit of a woman who met a tragic end. The White Lady is said to appear and disappear suddenly, leaving witnesses feeling a sense of unease and melancholy. Mainz Castle is also associated with various unexplained phenomena. Visitors and staff have reported hearing disembodied voices, footsteps, and doors opening or closing on their own. Cold spots and feelings of being watched are also commonly experienced in certain parts of the castle, particularly in the older sections and near the tower. Number 3. Craigiever Castle, Aberdeenshire, Scotland. Craigiever Castle is said to be haunted by a spirit in the Blue Room. Possibly the ghost of a Gordon family member who died after falling or being pushed from a window. Visitors often report feeling uneasy in this room, and some have witnessed strange apparitions. Another ghostly figure is that of a drummer, who is sometimes heard playing his drum within the castle walls, particularly before a significant or tragic event. Number 2. Corfe Castle, Dorset, England. One of the most famous ghosts of Corfe Castle is the Headless Woman. Believed to be the spirit of a woman who was beheaded during the English Civil War. She is often seen wandering the ruins, especially at dusk. The castle is also said to be haunted by the spirits of 2 young boys who were murdered there. Their ghostly figures are sometimes seen playing near the ruins, or heard crying in the night. Number 1. Dunster Castle, Somerset, England. Dunster Castle is reputedly haunted by a man in green, believed to be the ghost of a soldier or nobleman. He is often seen in the castle's crypt and occasionally in other parts of the building. Another ghostly presence is that of a large black dog, which is said to haunt the grounds of the castle. The dog is believed to be the spirit of a loyal pet that still watches over the property. I hope you enjoyed this haunted reel. Which castle did you think was the most scary? Look out for more haunted reels. Note some of the images used in this production were created digitally for reference purposes. All images of castles owned by the castle owners. Check the video description for links to all the castles so you find out more or even visit. See you next video.